Eric, we think about that after every game. Win, lose, or draw, we try to anticipate what they're going to do. That's part of the chess match you're talking about during this time. And, again, it may be just how you cover a post-up, which side you're coming from, which way you force the guy. All those things are different adjustments that we both have to make. We have to make it, and I'm sure they're having to do the same thing. So we think about the what-ifs, but you can't spend a lot of time on the what-ifs. You got to work on basically, what is hurting you too. But we have to be ready for the what-ifs.
So I know you're not going to get into specifics, but do you think there is some sort of is there something big that you think you haven't seen from them yet?
I don't know. There's a lot of variables, a lot of ifs, what-ifs if they decide to do them. If they're that big, we probably won't know about it until the game starts. So, but we're prepared. There's some other things they can do differently, and we're prepared for that. They can do some things different defensively, and we're prepared for that too. So, again, it's not a lot new or that we haven't seen that they've done, and like you said, it's going to have to be something totally out of character for them to come out tomorrow night. Our number one thing tomorrow night is go in with the Warriors mentality, and not go in. Get hit with a punch and say, okay, we got Game 7. No, it's going to be a 48-minute battle, war, however you want to describe it, going in tomorrow night.
Because they lost the last two, and this kind of goes back to what Eric was talking about, is it almost a better likelihood that they do something like, start Monroe or something like that?
Yeah, I'm sure that's a possibility, Mike. I mean, the thing about it is, we don't know. You can't spend a lot of time of one thing. There's a lot of different things they could do. Again, it's not anything I don't think they can do that we haven't seen or prepared for or thought about. Again, I'm sure they will change something.
You talk about compete level, and is that something you can coach because they have an inexperienced team, or is that innate in a player or a team's chemistry?
Well, DNA. I think our DNA to win has to be, compete is a tough word, is just outwork them. 50-50 balls, loose balls, running the floor, speed of cuts, speed of physical screens, all those things have to be there. And the games we lost, they were missing in segments. It wasn't like we didn't compete the whole or play hard the whole entire game, but we had some large segments where we didn't play to our identity.
Can you speak to how Norm has responded to what you've asked him and how he's risen to the challenge?
Well, the whole thing with Norm is be ready. And he's done that. He's put in the time with the coaches before practice, after practice. He's a mature young man. He's done everything we've asked him to do. The main thing I've told him, I talked to him before about his role, being behind DeMar, but the most important is being ready. And he's done that. And I think for the most part, most of our team has done that. I really think the way Jonas has handled it is also important. Him being a professional guy that starts, that's hard. And that's one of the hardest things to do in this league is go from a, starter and a big-time starter, one of our core pieces, to the role he's in now. So, and again, this series, that could change next series, or if we get there, it could change the next game. So, again, we're going to hold that close to our vest, but I really appreciate the way Jonas has handled the situation.
Norm's approach is how calm he appears, level-headed at such a young age. Does that remind you of anyone that you coached before? I imagine it's a pretty rare thing in this league for someone that.
Well, he's a 4-year player. Like today is Delon Wright's birthday, and he's 20? He's older than Corey. He's the same age as Corey. So both the young men, Norm, Delon, 4-year guys, they've spent time in college. They've been coached well in college. So he's ahead of the curve. It's not like you bring a young kid in the league and didn't play 4 years of college or 3 years of college from that standpoint. So he's mature from that, and his mom and dad, he has fantastic family. So he's a well-rounded young man on and off the court.
You've talked about the hostile environment in Milwaukee. I'm sure it will be more hostile tomorrow than previously. What advice do you give players on handling that, or do you just want them to try and take the pride out of the game with their play?
You just got to do it. You got to go out and outwork them. I mean, you got to go out, be present and accounted for, ready to compete. You're not going to stop them. That's the only way you're going to stop them from cheering is to outwork them, outperform them, and they're still going to. You got to play through the noise. Like everything else in this league, you got to play above the noise, and it's going to be loud. I thought the first game there, it kind of put us back on our heels a little bit. Plus their play, along with their play, and how Milwaukee plays. That combination, I thought we were playing in mud most of the game. So we got to be mentally and physically prepared as we were in Game 4 there. I thought we were more ready for what was about to hit us. And again, it's going to be loud and it's going to be a dogfight for 48 minutes.
With your playoff experience now, do you approach coaching differently than you do in the regular season? Quicker hook, more likely to make changes to the starting lineup?
Yeah, you have to. You have to. And the most important thing with that, players have to understand the moment. It's the playoffs. Probably wouldn't have pulled a quicker hook during the regular season or make substitutions in the regular season as quickly as we would now, just because you don't have time to make up for it. So each game is so important. Each possession is so important. So, again, you don't want your players out there playing tight and, okay, I'm looking at the bench or whatever, but they understand and know what is needed on the floor and who is best equipped on our team to handle it.
When you look back at the other game sixes you guys haven't had success in, are there lessons in those games that you can use?
Every series is different, Dave. I think every year is different. Every team is different. I think our team now is more mature, battle ready. I think the only guy that hasn't played in the playoffs is PJ probably, but he's played some big games over in Europe. So every game is different. Again, mentally you can't go into Game 6, and we talked about it this morning, thinking, okay, we got Game 7 to go. We got a game in our pocket. You can't approach it that way. It's the hardest thing to do in the NBA is to close out a series, whatever game it is. So we've got to go in knowing that and not banking on Game 7. We want to make this, go in and approach this like it's Game 7. You'd have to, it's different teams. You preaching different things, different teams. We preach that in Game 6, but, there's no magic wand that you can wave over players and be able to tell how they're going to react. What we can do is make sure they're prepared physically, for schematically what we're doing. And if we have to motivate players at this time of year, we're in trouble. To wave a wand and try to, be a psychologist with guys now. I think our players understand what time of day it is.
On the same, is there a team you've either been a part of or have played against that was particularly good at sort of taking the first opportunity and ending things?
Well, again, experience is probably your best, best teacher. I don't keep up with Game 5, 6, 7, what games you like. They're all the same to me. You want to win that game. So in Dallas, I don't know if we ever talked about closing out or Game 6. I know we talked about closing out is a tough thing to do, but I don't remember, we've had a lot of firsts here, closing out in Game 6, whatever we couldn't win on, there's a lot of other things we've changed. So why not change this, which is very difficult to do because it's not like Milwaukee's going to cooperate with us.